Welcome back to Geekshow Arcade.
Holy cow, we're starting? Let's
That's
go!
right.
Come for the still jokes and stay for the semi-late tech news.
Yeah, that's right. That's
the
right.
Semi-late tech news. I love it.
Well, I mean, it's a podcast we record once a week, so you can't be that timely.
It's not about the news itself. It's about our takes and our witty banter.
Sure.
The stale jokes, like I said.
Yep. Now
I
the writer
covered
strike
it all.
is over.
They're
Now
not
the writer,
stale.
The writer strike is over, so I've got my kids back to work writing for me. They make all my jokes.
They part of they part of the Writers Guild
They're
of
out
America.
of the guild. It took a bit to
That's
get 'em
why
in.
it's been so stale lately.
Of course they are.
Exactly. It took a bunch of fraud to get them in, but they're decent.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
That's why we haven't heard any of like the Gen Z talk. Okay,
So,
this makes sense.
We're gonna get that bet for Rizzle. Shizzle.
No, they haven't started yet again, have they? This is just you trying to rip.
It's a rough. Yeah, exactly. It's a rough start. We're getting them back in to that. So,
Well, until then, you get just regular old Owen
that's
here.
right. That's it. All the time.
But we love him very much.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Next
Take
to
him or
reg-
leave
He's
him.
my favorite person on the podcast, next to me.
next to regular old Owen, we got regular old Jaron.
Hi, I'm regular old Jaron. You could find me on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter at Jaron.
I'll accept it.
Owen didn't quite get that's what we were doing. Do you want to plug your
Oh
Twitter?
yeah, no, I don't. At
Okay.
If they don't know what
fair.
it is by now,
There you go.
All right. We got a regular old Lando right
hey,
here.
it's regular old Lando. You can find me also on the platform formerly known as Twitter, now known as X, at Landon Conover, and on Blue Sky at Landon Conover. And I did Blue Sky tweet last week just for you, Lang.
Wow.
There you go.
And we have a host. His name is
Hey.
Tony.
Regular old Tony here. Check me out on Twitter at Quad T Tony or X, and Blue Sky at Quad T, or on other Geek Show podcasts.
And if you have not seen, if you're not watching this on YouTube, first of all, you're missing out. Second of all, Tony has an amazing stash. Like, you've
Been
got to
working
see
on
this
it.
much to believe
Trimmed
it.
it up
It is
today.
so good.
A little
So
bit of
come
wax
watch on
on there.
YouTube and check out his amazing stash. It's worth it.
It's a work in progress. All right. Let's see. Do we have any emails today?
Yes, we do.
Yay.
Let me make sure I'm reading the right one. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Got an email from Benjamin.
Professionals.
No way. We are not.
Yes, we are.
Barely amateur.
Benjamin says, summarize where needed. I think you missed a few things on the crypto discussion. What was the new email for Arcade? What is the new email for Arcade? That's geekshowarcade@gmail.com. There you go.
Dun, da, 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 da.
Anyway, Benjamin says, all money is fake. American currency just tends to be trusted more since it's backed by the federal government.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we did. Banks can fail, commit fraud, and in most cases, the FDIC will insure deposits. Do you remember when SVB?
Up to $250,000 per person.
Yep. Do you remember when Silicon Valley Bank was set to fail? They technically should have paid them what the FDIC normally insures. They ended up getting their full deposits covered. Point being, by its very nature, Bitcoin has no insurances.
It's true.
Other stable currencies, the British pound, it's worth more, but has its own issues. I wouldn't say it's worth more. It's just different.
Trades for more. It's like $1.20 something per.
Okay,
one British pound.
would you call yen less valuable than the U.S. dollar? It's just a different
Well,
scale.
amount,
It's a
right?
different
You-
scale.
Yeah.
You have a
different scale.
point there, but the weird thing, I don't know, because the
You
weird
can
thing
still
about
use it to buy
stuff,
things.
the weird thing about stuff in Europe and in UK is it not only is their money more expensive than our money, they also pay more for
what do you-
things over
No,
there.
no. So
No,
this is how it works. If something
No,
was
it's more
cheaper
expensive.
in a different country, people would just buy it from the different country, import it here, and sell it at a profit. So
Right.
money isn't worth more in different countries because the economy automatically corrects for that.
I think you're confusing exchange rate for cost
That's what I'm saying.
more.
Yeah. The exchange rate is not in the favor of, or the exchange rate is in favor of British pounds and euros
Right,
compared
but
to the
things-
dollar.
things-
However,
things-
It just depends
It still
on.
costs the same. If I were to
Stuff-
convert
Yeah.
dollars into pounds and then
dep-
buy something
depends
with
on-
pounds, I'm still spending the same amount of dollars.
no.
I'm just going to stop everyone
Things
here.
are priced differently?
None of us
Is that what you're
are.
telling me?
None of us are
Are
economists.
things cheaper in Britain?
We
Why
should
am I not
just.
buying everything from there?
We should stop while we're way behind already. All right.
If you
They do.
look at the no, here's the thing. If you look at the price of technology in the U.S. versus the price in the U.K. or Europe, it usually costs the same or more number for number
It has to do
in
with
Europe and the U.K.
has to do with
And
the
you're
cost of
also
living.
you're also
So that means
paying
the
more for
dollar is
the-
worth more than the pound if it costs more in the UK.
exactly.
You're
So,
saying
like,
the
I
opposite
think
of what
it's
you
more
said.
than-
You
more.
need to reverse it and put the dollar on top. Okay, take it the dollar and go to South America. Now, I could live in South America on my
Hold
on
on,
the
I'm
on the
doing the
on
math.
$1,000 in South
Can we move
America
on,
goes
guys?
farther
Yes, please.
than
I'm with Jaron.
You
the
guys are
local
all
currency,
freaking
right?
idiots. Let's move on here.
Come for the tech, stay for the money.
That's right. Money talk. Money talk.
not-
Anyway,
you're
he
not-
goes on to say, I think taxing it was and is inevitable. He's talking about Bitcoin.
Of course it is.
yeah.
Of course.
It lends some credence to it being a currency since it is taxed. Plus, think of all the nefarious uses countries use it for. Both North Korea and Russia, I think, largely deal in it to launder money and skirt sanctions. Totally.
Yeah.
They
it's true.
put the numbers out on what North Korea made in Bitcoin scams last year with ransomware and stuff, and it's not insignificant.
And then he ends with NFTs are just a scam.
Word.
Well,
Word.
yeah. Unless you own one, then keep going, buddy. Like
Yeah, so-
if
so I
you
guess-
own one, I support you in your quest.
I guess what I was saying was the opposite of what I was trying to say.
So how much is the 4090 in the US right now?
$14.99. No, sorry, $15.99 of US dollars.
So why don't we buy the thing from? Because it's more expensive in Britain. So why
Import
come Britain
fees,
people
right?
don't come
Yeah.
just come here and buy all
That's
the things?
that's
do.
what I'm saying because they
They
can,
do.
but then you have to pay a VAT tax and all that stuff anyway
Only if
to import
they catch
it.
you, right?
Right? Yeah.
I mean, like
So
a buddy
that's-
of mine, my buddy from
That's
the
crazy.
Netherlands, to buy
That's-
the
Steam Deck?
Steam Deck, he came over here and he could have bought it for like with his euros, which are worth more here. He could have picked it up and then he just opens it and comes back with it in his hand in his carry-on, and there's no VAT, there's no tax. It's just, in fact,
You're
they call
supposed to declare that.
You're supposed to, but like there's full-on businesses that I've investigated because I have to try and get laptops all over the world for my company. There's full-on businesses that will have people just walk stuff across the border.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
for sure. It happens
know?
all the time, for sure.
Oh, like the Uber or whatever. They'll just it's all gig work,
Right.
And you take a risk, right? If they're like, today's the day I quit, I'm gonna take this laptop that this dude gave me, and I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
So-
But yeah, that's the point I was making. Like $10 in US has more buying power for technology than £10 in
Is that only true
Great Britain.
for technology, or is that true for all the things?
No, it's not true for all
I think
things.
I think it's mostly just true for stuff that is imported. Like food and everything
makes
over there.
sense.
I mean, I was in Scotland a month and a half ago, and food and everything over there, it was pretty apples to apples cost wise.
So we're
not
just
not
talking
for me. It was
technology.
actually cheaper because
cheaper? Yeah.
there's a gluten-free tax in the U.S. Not literally,
Oh.
but it's just crazy expensive here.
Yeah.
Whereas in the U.K., it was a lot more manageable.
It seemed pretty apples to apples for me, unless you wanted to buy stuff that's considered like U.S. food in the supermarket, like, Jif peanut butter and barbecue sauce and stuff like that.
Anything
that
that's
stuff's
been
stupid
imported, right?
expensive. Yep, imported, exactly.
Because they still have to import, and that's where they get used on the import fees, right? And that's where NAFTA and all that other stuff comes in,
'Cause
that they've negotiated with other
Exactly.
countries.
Okay, I'm officially bored, guys. Can we keep moving?
Hey,
Yes, we got an email from Lang. He says, "Howdy,
Thanks,
Helpsters. I'll get straight to a question I thought of. What is a tech pet peeve that you have or that others have with you? I'll go first. Others hate how I never take the plastic off of new items, like
I hate
screens on new watches or phones as long as I can. Folks hate that.
I do. Don't
I
leave
don't.
it on
I
there. It's
don't.
bad.
I
Take it off.
don't mind it.
I do that.
Take
all
it
the
off.
time. No.
Then, on the other hand,
Peel
my pet peeve
Peel
is
it.
people that can't pronounce tarantula correctly.
Oh,
Love
rough.
you guys, Lang.
Womp
Oof.
womp womp.
Bringing that one back. I don't know.
Do you want to try again? Do you want some redemption? An opportunity redemption?
I'll still say it wrong, so don't even try. I know I will.
He's like, no.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. If a peel is there. It is there to be peeled.
That's
It
right.
depends. Like, I have this peel I should do on my electric bike, like the display on it. But I'm just leaving it on there because I know once I take it off, I'll have no screen protector to replace it. And it's a crappy little piece of plastic.
I was going to
with
say, is it
scratches
really
all over
offering
it.
you much?
No,
I didn't.
If
pull
anything
the glass
wants-
off I didn't pull the glass off my tower for like a year.
you didn't pull the plastic off
Why?
the glass on your tower, bruh.
I didn't do it.
That's wild.
Didn't need to.
I don't know.
Well, of course you don't need to, but you
Am
must.
I not? Did I just lose my PC Master Race card, or did I get
No.
like an
Well,
infraction?
I think so.
No,
I think I
and
got
also,
an infraction. Maybe a
also,
stern warning.
I think we're gonna shy away from using the term master race anymore from now on,
Probably best.
because
I only do that because of the Reddit. The
don't.
subreddit.
You know what? If we did,
Did you
all the
Google it?
things, if we did all the things that we saw on Reddit, the world would be a terrible, terrible place. Far worse than it is
No,
right
just
now.
because the subreddit I visit is the only reason why. That's where I go to for PC gaming stuff. I thought it
Yeah.
was kosher, but I
You
can
shouldn't
see
repeat
now that
it.
it's not.
I watched. It was in this last week's episode of Digital Foundry. They mentioned that, and I thought about it. I was like, dang it, they are super right. That is not something that we
You know the
want to
other
be
one?
associated
it's
with
the
master
same thing
race
that
talk.
GitHub's done, right? We no longer have the master branch; it's now the main branch.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Do you know
So,
that it's even
anyway.
it's and this is another one that I just barely learned. It's also in the real estate. They don't want to call it the master bedroom.
Master
anymore.
bedroom. Yeah,
I
have
learned that
heard
when I
about
sold my
that
last
one.
house. It's the main bedroom. No, it's the. There's a special name for it. I can't remember now.
Going back
Anyway.
to the tech pet peeves, mine is
Yeah.
people who don't charge their phone at night. And they just like go throughout the day trying to find a plug. Just charge it at night. Come
He's
on.
looking right at you, Owen. How's that
And
feel?
me, I don't charge it during the night.
You
Why?
guys don't really?
I
It's
I'll
charge
sit at
right
my
it.
desk
there.
and charge it whenever I get a chance at the places.
The only time I don't charge at night is if I have to go do like diabetic stuff for my son or whatever, my kid's stuff. I typically charge it at night.
Okay. Now, so Lando's the guilty
So he's
one.
looking at Lando.
That's fine. I don't care.
I don't think it's as long as they don't complain to me about it when their battery dies, I don't care.
Yeah.
But as soon as it's like, oh, my battery's dead, it's like 11 a.m. Well, did you charge your phone last night? No.
Idiot.
Okay then.
This is a problem of your own making.
I just got so used to the super like the rapid charging with the OnePlus that moving back to like it's rapid charging with Google, but it's nothing like
It's not
OnePlus
as
did.
rapid.
Like I'm not kidding. Like I could plug in my phone for 4 or 5 minutes and grab 20%
That's
on
nuts.
my battery, and so I just never had battery like anxiety, and now I've had to relearn a little bit to like make sure my phone's plugged in and blah blah blah.
I was reading an article yesterday. No, it was today actually. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it looked like it was fairly accurately sourced. OnePlus uses higher quality batteries than a lot of the other phone makers out there because they rely on the quick charge stuff, and it has to be more robust if you want to support quick charge for
To
2-3
dissipate the
years.
heat, yeah.
Yeah, versus the slower charged batteries. All right. Yep, there you go. Thanks for writing in. Anything else? We good?
Good.
Okay.
We good.
All right.
Awkward pause.
Here we go. Let's. I had to
Jaren
scroll
paused right
down.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Jaren pause for Tony.
Oh, I feel gross.
Did it again. You did it
What?
again. What do you?
I'm just gonna let it happen.
Tony
What's
doesn't know
going on? What's going
I
on?
don't know. I
What are
don't
we
know.
doing? All right, Lando. Talk about
Professionals.
talk about
Professionals.
baseball. Amateurs at best.
Well, so this actually happened with baseball and football this last week. There's this-
You know what? I'm officially bored. Let's move on to the next topic.
Yes.
How's that
hurt.
feel, Lando? Huh? How's that feel?
Yeah, man.
Okay, talk about your baseball thing.
I don't know if I want to anymore.
That's exactly how it feels when somebody says,
Yeah, but
"This
your
is
your
stupid."
topic was like way out in left field. Baseball reference. Talking about money crap. Who cares?
Bring it around.
Baseball?
Bring it around.
Yeah,
you had a
it's better.
chance to segue right in, and then you went back to insulting.
Yeah. So there's this trend lately in sports. So the really cool, so like baseball, one of my favorite things about baseball is like the data and the real time data you can get. They have these new really cool cameras. I'm gonna have to read the article here to remember what they are. They're Sony, I believe, does them. They're called I can't remember what Hawkeye cameras. Sony Hawkeye cameras, and they're used for the league's Statcast data. So in real time, when a baseball player hits the ball and they hit a home run, they know instantly what was the launch angle of that ball, what was the velocity of that ball off the bat, where did it land, how far did it go, and then all these numbers are like super accurate. They know where all the players are, they know all the different things. So what they're doing now is they're taking all that data from these real-time cameras and they are translating that into the virtual world. So this is a few weeks old now, but one of the baseball games they'd put into a virtual park. So you put on your Meta Quest headset, and it's also going to be for the upcoming Vision Pro, and sit yourself into a virtual stadium and watch the virtual baseball game. So as the games are live, they're translating them into the virtual baseball field. So it's the same game happening. Just the difference is it's virtual players.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. So the players you're seeing are like polygonal rendered video game looking players.
Yeah.
It's not the actual players.
Yeah, and they did the same thing last week at the NFL. Disney teamed up with the NFL, and they did a Toy Story NFL game. Did you guys see this on TikTok at all?
No.
It was dumb looking. But it was the same idea where they take the real-time data from the game and they translate that into like Toy Story toy characters. So they had side-by-side, like, here's the real action football game next to the Toy Story game in Andy's room. And it was exactly the same stuff happening on the field.
Weird.
Yeah,
no having to wear dots or anything to track.
Yeah,
movement.
I was going to say, that's kind of like
grabbing that in real time.
mocap
It's kind of like that, yeah. But
in real time.
Yep, and then translating the real game into the virtual world. So, like, as a baseball fan, here in Utah, we don't have an MLB team, right? And it sucks. I want to go watch MLB games live in person. This sounds like a really good use case for something like the Vision Pro, where I can put on my head and feel like I'm there.
Do you think you would,
having
though?
to really be there. I don't know. It's hard to say because when
your kid,
I
comes
saw
and
the
clocks you out
shots
of
from
the
the
blue
Toy
'cause you have a
Story
headset
one
on.
from the NFL, it looked really bad because it was like all Toy Story animated stupid.
Yeah, they're going
But
for a
having it
different
be
feel.
a real virtual experience that's actually some time and thoughts but it put into, I think it'd be pretty close.
Isn't much of the energy though coming from the crowd, which would be non-existent?
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Well, they
And
probably
you're
just
you're leaning back on a nice soft couch instead of like these really horrible benches. You know,
That's
that.
true. That's true.
They probably just virtualize a crowd next to you, so you hear the crowd sounds and everything.
With that being
Yeah,
said,
it wouldn't be the
having
same, though.
No.
having a headset on and feeling like I'm at least in a stadium of some kind, I can turn my head and still look around and it's not just flat on the screen, and I'm not limited by what camera angles are available during the broadcast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that provides a different experience and one that's not the same, of course, but something different than what I have now. That's
Yeah.
intriguing.
It's a third way to enjoy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's cool,
Interesting.
and it's cool data too. Imagine using that data set to train AI and stuff. Like, you could totally.
Oh, dude.
You could totally do that for games, and then they can do that and translate that into real video games, or if that's really cool to get real data.
So why don't they just put like a virtual reality camera like right in the front, the best seat ever possible, and just broadcast that?
That's what this is. You could do that, and you could sit anywhere in the stadium you want.
I could have sworn I think there's an option to do that with some NBA games too, where you can
Like your
sit
court
in
side?
and it makes it look like your courtside because they just use a wide angle, super high def camera.
With these cameras, because there's multiple of them in the stadium, right? It recreates a 3D virtual game.
I
right?
don't
so you
want
can
it
sit anywhere you want.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be recreated in CG. I want it like an
Live.
actual camera.
I don't know.
To feel like,
The part
to
of
feel
the
like you're there.
You limit the ability of what you can do a ton if you try to use real
just
camera.
a single point source camera. That sounds great.
Same if you actually sat in the audience.
Yeah, who wants to be limited?
Okay.
Not me.
But at least in the audience, you can move your head around, you can stand up, you can move.
You can move your head around in virtual reality. That's the whole point of it.
Well, you're essentially just a single camera. That's just like this camera here, right? It doesn't
Like a-
move.
like-
it stays
No,
there.
a virtual
Like
reality camera.
a
Like that would
360 they're like a
capture- yeah.
360.
Yep.
You can turn
Capture both dimensions. You can
Like
look
the
everywhere.
the old thing you like Google Street basically, so
Yeah.
you can
Right.
turn the
Yeah.
camera and
If-
move.
Like, have you ever seen those videos before where you can actually tilt your phone up and down and look around
I think the
360?
difference
Yeah,
is
that's
for the
kinda
virtual one is it's recreated in virtual reality. So they're 3D models, right? With the Street View type camera, you get only that one single point of view. You
Right,
can't
you
have
don't
the
get-
point of view from anywhere.
Right.
But
don't
wouldn't
get
you rather have one completely realistic point of view than just
As if
watching
you were
cartoon characters play a
I
baseball
want
game?
multiples, and I want to be edited in real time like the broadcast is, right? Because the broadcast gives you different camera shots, different angles,
from
different
up and down.
stats at different
And
times.
They
I
could
think-
still do that with more cameras.
Yeah, I was going to say they
Totally.
could do both easy, and you just choose. You know,
Yeah.
do I want the virtual one or do I want
yeah.
the realistic
Just like
one?
Street
Or
View
yeah, or have multiple
know.
points of view. I want this virtual reality camera. I want to go up to the stands now. I want to go back down and
So-
have you
Maybe.
choose. That'd be
Maybe.
awesome.
So there's a what's it called? Like a theater type place in Salt Lake. I think it's called Cosm. And it's one of those dome theaters. We actually got to go to it for Geekshow back right after the last episode of Picard season 3 aired, and watched that episode on it. And it is crazy. They have a limited amount of seating, right, for it, because the whole seating area is kind of a sweet spot, but it completely takes up like 170 degrees of your field of view. And that's one of the demos they showed us was here's a high definition wide angle camera sitting right here, and you're watching it as though you're sitting 50-yard line front row, and you can just turn and
that's
look down the line, and it's like 8K resolution and just looks ridiculous. It was really
Did
cool.
you guys see the new shots coming out of the new theater in Vegas, the Sphere Theater?
Oh
Have you
my
seen
gosh.
this thing?
I want
That
to go to
looks
That
that.
display is
amazing.
nuts.
Yeah.
Both
Inside
outside and
and-
in, for that matter.
And outside is so cool. It's got this face looking around. If it's hot, it like shows a sweat bubble. And
It looks so cool. I'd actually go to a U2 concert to see it.
So would I.
hey, U2's a great band.
They're fine.
They were a great
There
band.
are 7 listeners that
They haven't
just
been a
said,
great
"Yeah,
band since
man."
the early 90s.
I would say as long as they play the old stuff, I'm down.
Yeah. Anyway, that display inside that theater looks really cool.
Yeah.
Some of the visuals they had for that U2 concert were really, really cool looking.
So they did
Insanity.
the U2 did an Octane Baby album. Like they just made all the songs from Octane Baby, which is one of their best.
That is their best album.
That's really good.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a tie for Joshua Tree, but
That's
Joshua
also
Tree's
really good.
really good
but
too,
I like
yeah.
Octane Baby better.
Indeed. All right, let's see. You know what? We have some other virtual reality style news because Meta had one of their big announcement party things.
Meta Connect.
did they do it in the metaverse? Like, did you have to join that way, or
I actually don't know.
They
I
should.
just saw it on YouTube. What a missed opportunity. They should have done it that way.
yeah?
They probably did.
They probably did. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, Meta Connect, they announced a few things. Meta smart glasses made by Ray-Ban. You can record 1080p video at 60 frames per second, but only at 60 seconds at a time.
So they're like spy glasses.
Yeah, it has 32 gigs of storage on board. It can capture spatial audio. Kind of interesting, but it costs $300 and ships on October 17th.
Which $300 for
That's actually
nice
not that
Ray-Ban
much
frames?
more
That-
than Ray-Ban.
That's not that crazy.
No.
The thing that I wish that they had was a HUD. There's no heads-up display though, and that's what I want out of smart glasses.
they
I want to
have-
be able to see a heads-up display. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care about recording other things or even a microphone and a speaker. I got earbuds if I want to listen to something.
Like, I feel like if they're not trying to make the glasses from Free Agent or what's the Ryan Reynolds movie, Free Guy?
Oh, Free Guy, yeah.
If the companies aren't trying to make the glasses like from Free Guy, then they're failing.
They're wasting
Like,
their time.
They're wasting their time.
There's 3 or 4 other different versions of this on the market already. One from Bose, one from Razer. I don't think they have cameras, but meh.
Do they have privacy lights? A lot of these cameras have to have like a red light to show
Yeah.
them that you're recording and stuff.
If
Oh,
you
so
want
you
to
look like the Borg.
what's that one?
Yes,
Snap.
please.
Snap did a version of these already.
Oh, yeah, and
3
they
years ago.
failed.
They failed big time.
Yeah, they
Was that,
did.
Was that Snap? That was Snapchat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Snapchat, Snap.
They
yeah.
they were weird looking glasses. They tried for that
Yeah,
weird round owl looking thing.
at least these actually look fashionable. These look kind of cool.
They also talked about AI, of course, because you can't not talk about AI nowadays.
Yep.
Right.
They will have generative AI assistants available in WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And then they will have generative AI imaging editing in Instagram.
That's what we need. The ability to easier render
What is
more
this?
unrealistic, expectations for people to pine over and feel depressed about.
Yeah.
Yep, you're not wrong, Tony.
This could be a great move. Imagine being like, we want to train a vegetation identification AI. Well, now you've got however many users buy this, scanning and looking at all sorts of vegetation as they walk by, and I'm
The
sure in
amount
the
of
EULA,
data.
and you imagine in the EULA, it's just like, by the way, we get to use everything you see
Yeah.
to
We
train
need a-
AI.
They need to start off with hot dog or not a hot dog. I mean,
If they
that's
don't, what
the
are you even
foundation
doing?
to
Right?
start it
That's
on.
Hot dog, not a hot
Not a
dog. If
hot
they're not
dog.
doing that, what are you even doing?
And then they talked about the Meta Quest 3. They previously announced this the day before the Vision Pro was announced from Apple, kind of as a desperate, hey, we're relevant type of thing. But it's finally coming out. The release date is, it's soon. Where did the date go?
I thought it was early part of next year.
So you're a fan of the Quest 2, though, right, Jaron? Are you going to get the Quest 3? Does it look like a good enough upgrade
No, I'm
to pull the
not.
trigger?
So the improvements, they'll have the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip that supposedly delivers double the performance of the Quest 2. So if you're using it as a standalone, that's a big deal. If you use it as just like a pass-through from your PC, not that important. Slightly higher resolution. The refresh rate is at 90 hertz. Now there was a 120 hertz setting in the Quest 2. I'm not sure if they're continuing that in the Quest 3.
I'm pretty sure. I watched the Quest 3 presentation. I'm pretty sure they said 120 is on the table.
Okay, because if they took that out, that'd be absurd.
Oh yeah.
And for Tony and other wide-eyed people out there, such as
Huzzah!
Benedict Cumberbatch, it has a
Yes!
higher IPD rating.
Us ET fellows will finally be able to wear it and be comfortable and where our
Side-eye.
eyeballs are.
You might be able to
Well,
put it on a
eyeball
horse finally.
Yes.
What are you saying, Jaron?
You have a horse face.
Oh,
You're a horse, Tony.
Yep.
Of course.
With a mustache.
Wall-eyed.
Such a great stash.
wall-eyed.
October 10th is when it officially comes out.
That's really soon.
Yeah, starts at $500 for the 128 gig storage version, which is not great if you're using it as a standalone. So if you want a 512 gig version, you'll need $650 for that. So there you go.
Sweet.
The controllers on it too got rid of the rings. The controllers for it now are just straight up fit in your hand, like no big loopy rings or anything like that. And it has the same inside-out tracking for your hands and for the controllers. So.
Oh yeah, color pass-through also, which the 2 does not have.
Yeah.
And the cameras are much, much higher resolution as well. So it actually, like, the people that tested it out that I watched, they were able to read messages on their phone through the cameras on the
pass-through.
outside,
Oh, that's
through
cool.
the pass-through. So it's much better quality in that aspect.
I love VR, but there just hasn't been anything like there hasn't been a killer app since Half-Life Alyx.
Yep.
And so I just haven't touched it since then.
Yeah, and I had so many issues all the time trying to use my Quest 2 with my PC, and maybe this is a Tony problem, I don't know, but I never even finished Half-Life Alyx because it was such a pain in the butt to get it. Every time I wanted to use this, I spent half an hour redoing setup stuff.
Tell us how you really
Every
feel,
time.
Tony. Go ahead.
That sucks because
it
Half-Life
made-
Alyx is literally top 2 of my games ever.
I know. And when I played it, I was like, dang, this is a groundbreaking experience. This is so cool. And I loved it when I was playing it. And I put it down, and a few days later, I'd be like, I should play some Half-Life Alyx. I don't want to set everything up. Ugh. And I just stopped playing. So, all right. Well, there you go. There's your meta stuff for the year, I guess. They only do one of those every year. So that's that. What's so similar to virtual reality? What's this Neuralink update we have here, Owen?
The one for Mr. Musk's company?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to do some what?
Mr. Musk.
It's called the Prime study, and essentially they're getting to do some human trials. The study will take 6 years, and they're looking
That's a
for
while.
people with they're looking for people with quadriplegia to test the Neuralink system. Now, Neuralink has been plagued with a bunch of bad juju with the way they were treating animals, and
Yep.
they got fined.
It's almost like Elon Musk is running the company or something.
Wait a minute.
So the main one they're that they're working to study with this to figure out what this is for paralysis control devices. Specifically, they have a very narrow set of people they're looking for. So they're looking for people with quadriplegia due to vertical spinal cord injury. I don't know what I didn't look that up, what a vertical, but that assumes that there is another type of spinal cord injury, or ALS, who are over the age of 22 and have consistent and reliable caregivers. So it's a very kind of narrow scope there, very specific scope. But the PRIME study, it stands for Precise Robotically Implanted Brain Computer Interface. And the guy in the article's like, even though that acronym makes no sense.
I was gonna say that PRIBE.
PRIBE. So this is gonna test three.
What? There's not even an M word in here.
What? It's like Peter Griffin. It doesn't have to. Like when Lois goes, that doesn't even make sense. And he's like,
I can have to.
It doesn't have to. When he's talking about ice skating on butter and a pan. Anyway, it's a great episode. But so they're going to test three things with this trial. They're going to test the N1 implant. That's the actual brain device. They're going to test the robot. So this is the robot that does the implanting. And the third is they're going to test the app. This will have a user app. You'll be able to turn things up or down. I can't wait until there's no more like Lexapro or anything. You just get your Neuralink and you just up your dopamine. You ever see that really bad remake of RoboCop when he can do that? He can just like up the chemicals in his brain up and down. That's what they'll do with this. Be like, oh, I'm feeling sad today. I'm gonna
give me a little boost.
I'm gonna slide up my dopamine. But yeah,
why not just keep it up the entire time?
That's a good question. I probably would. Anyway, but so they're going to test that user app that connects everything. So
does it say anything in here about adjusting the chemicals in their brains?
No.
Okay.
I was just saying that when I think of a user app, I'm just like, I'm just going to up. Like, what's the user app? Like, what is the user app for? What settings are they going to be able to adjust?
So
now we're off on another tangent.
Here's
jump higher, go farther.
No.
I mean,
reading the article, it looks like it means testing the app with how the brain interfaces with the computer, so that the brain can tell the computer to do things.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't get any of that from what Owen said.
It's like I know. That's because as soon as
I thought we could like boost our serotonin levels or whatever.
That's what I. As soon as I saw app, I was sidetracked. It's more like it's more like training a robotic hand. They have the muscles, and so you can tune it. It's for device tuning. But I really just want to be able to have the ability to turn my chemicals in my brain up and down.
Is this why you have the story so you can talk about RoboCop?
Yeah, I love that movie. Dude.
Did you not like the Joel Kinnaman remake?
I liked it.
I haven't actually watched it.
I was hedging my bets that you guys didn't like it, but I really like it. So
I was gonna say I haven't seen it yet. I'll tell you
Owen's
what.
Just terrified to like something that we don't.
Only of you.
Let me tell you, if you haven't recently gone back and watched the first RoboCop with Peter Weller, you need to check that out.
It's worth it.
It holds up.
Yep.
I mean, it's definitely got a little bit of that 80s stank.
Yep.
But other than that, it holds up. The stuff that they talk about is just so forward thinking in technology to where we're at today, and the mega corporation aspect of things and the private militarization aspect of stuff. And just also it is like insanely violent. Like,
yeah.
Wow. Just hyper violent.
Like,
how did I watch that when I was like 5 then?
You might have watched the edited TV edited version.
Remember when they used to do TV edited? This movie has been formatted to fit the time slot and to remove anything controversial.
Exactly. But yeah, go check it out. If you want like a crazy dystopian future tech
I
hard
both
R
of them.
rating.
Wasn't there 3 RoboCops?
I think there was 3, and there was a TV series back in the late 90s.
I never watched the TV series, but the 3 movies were pretty good. I liked those. Maybe not Terminator 2 level awesome, but
Well, Terminator 2 is probably the best sequel of all time. Maybe only surpassed by Empire Strikes Back, but that's a topic for another day.
Let's not forget the future dated Uncharted movie.
Yeah, maybe
Oh.
we should forget that.
I
Actually,
see what you did there, and I don't
I
like
have
it.
Uncharted news for Geek Show Arcade. Actually,
Oh,
so
really?
yeah.
Well,
Look
I
at
do.
Jaron,
I'm
he's so happy.
excited.
No, I take that back. I have Naughty Dog news. Sorry, Jaron. Not Uncharted.
So
Naughty
I'll
Dog
just
news.
so I'll just tie this off. These guys are gonna meet with the researchers a bunch of times over 18 months, and then they're gonna spend it's rigorous. Like if you sign up for these are the expected requirements. They will be 18-month study that involves 9 visits with researchers. After that, they'll spend at least 2 hours a week on brain-computer interface research sessions, and then do 20 more visits over the next 5 years.
That's a lot.
Sounds like some good money.
Well, that's the thing too. If I was in a position where I qualified for something like this, I would be all about trying to test this stuff
totally,
out
right?
now. You know,
Yeah.
to help progress it, and also to maybe have the chance of enjoying some of the fruits of this technology early. Oh yeah, I'd be all about it.
So.
All right. Speaking of cool tech, we got the DJI Mini 4 Pro is out already. I thought the DJI Mini 3 just came out, but I guess it's time for an upgrade. This thing's really cool, actually. Like,
I wants it.
a surprisingly good upgrade in what you think would just be iterative, yearly updates to these things. So the DJI Mini 4 Pro is the mini line is the one that comes in at 249 grams or less, so you don't have to have the FAA licensing or whatever to fly it around.
This looks neat.
And yeah, so they upgraded pretty much every aspect of this drone compared to last year's. It's got 360-degree object avoidance sensors, which I
So
need
even if
that.
you're going side to side
Yeah.
or backing up,
Yep.
oh,
I've already
Or
crashed a
down.
drone. I've already crashed a drone and had to send it in for warranty,
Yeah, get in line.
extended warranty.
It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when you crash your drone.
Yeah, oh for sure. So the camera on it is upgraded. It's on a gimbal now that can not only does it go side to side, it goes up and down. All of them go down, but this one actually goes up now, so you can look higher than what you're flying.
yeah.
And
Looks like
what
they
else?
actually got some stabilization too, like video stabilization.
Yep, some better quality video stabilization, 35 mile per hour speed in sport
Ooh,
mode.
It goes further too.
Yep, a
just
20
better.
kilometer range, obviously under
What is
ideal
that?
conditions.
What is that in freedom units?
That's like 10 miles.
That's nuts.
That's far. So yeah, everything about it is basically upgraded, and it comes in at $760 for the base package, and it goes up from there if you want the Fly More or the Fly More Plus, because they have a Fly More and a Fly More Plus where you get the same amount of items except the batteries are higher capacity in the Fly More Plus. They get you up to like 43 minutes of flight time.
Does that push it over the weight limit?
It does not say, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it does. I don't know. That's kind of the whole shtick, though. So
Yeah.
maybe
How
not.
does the warranty work for this? You always have to send it back to them. Like you can't 3D print parts or anything for this type of stuff.
Well, you can, but I mean, the way that it's designed, you'd be hard pressed to 3D print anything as high quality as the parts that you would need.
Yeah,
to
I'm
fix
talking
something
blades
like
and
this.
arms, like blades and arms, like things that if you do crash, those are what typically snap. And
Yeah. Well, I would highly recommend just getting the extended warranty or insurance, I guess they call
It's
it.
actually not too bad.
It's not, yeah. And it's only a $50 copay when you have to use it, which
And
is
you
a
will
lot
use
cheaper.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Which
You
is a lot
will
cheaper
use
than buying a
than
whole
the
new
drone,
drone.
yeah.
So, but yeah, really cool looking. If I used my Mini 2 enough, I would think about getting one of these, but I barely use that one as it is, even though I think it's awesome. But anyway, I'm scared to ask about this one, Jaron, but I'm going to anyway. All you have on here is want to grow some teeth?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But what's this about?
Why wouldn't you want to grow some teeth?
I have plenty of teeth. I don't need any more.
I love this story.
well,
by the way.
what if you could grow them anywhere?
Like on my knuckles or something?
Would
for
that
punching?
change your opinion?
Oh, man. Maybe some knuckle teeth. you
or
know?
some armor, dude.
Teeth
We got
knuckles.
bone armor.
Japanese pharmaceutical startup. They're starting human trials, which is crazy,
Oh, wow.
on a new drug that can successfully grow teeth. They've done it in animal test subjects already, in mice and ferrets, which ferrets apparently have a similar teeth structure to humans.
Jaron,
Who
you know
would've
what else
guessed?
grows teeth? Big tumors. Is this going to give you a big tumor that you just get a tooth in?
Hopefully. Like it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
You either get a tooth or a tumor or both.
Or
Maybe
both?
throw some hair in there
It's a
as well.
win-win.
Fingernails. They've been conducting this research at Kyoto University since 2005, so it's a long time
Oh,
coming.
wow.
But there's this antibody gene, USAG1, and if you get rid of that, if you suppress it, it can stimulate tooth growth.
Where?
Although if you're one of those people who have lost teeth,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is probably a big
Yeah,
deal.
but
be great.
it makes me wonder though if they could localize it to the tooth that has been lost, or if just everything's going to grow and all of your teeth are going to fall out.
Like instead
I
of
would
fingernails,
assume-
you got teethernails.
Your teeth stop growing. So I would think that only teeth that aren't there would grow, and your body would be like, "Oh, there's teeth already there. Don't grow new ones."
Is our body that smart? I don't know.
I don't know, Jaron.
Yeah. But
Don't
for
ask
those
me.
people with like genetic disorder that can't grow teeth, yeah, this is a huge deal. But like for people who just one of their adult
Hockey
teeth
players.
have fallen out, yeah, hockey players, will this fill just one tooth, or will everything fall out and you'll go through a horrible 6 to 10 months?
Still worth it, I bet, for some people.
My mind is just
wild.
picturing all the places the teeth could grow errantly that you would just not want that.
In your nostrils?
Yeah, I got a tooth growing in one of the wrong holes. It's not in the mouth hole.
Like you're like, doctor, I can't hear really well. Let's take a look in there. It looks like you've grown a tooth in there.
Oh, that's
son.
a tooth.
Oh.
It makes pooping much easier.
Yeah, it's got a you got a garbage disposal.
I was going to say. Oh, that's
An image I can never forget. Thanks,
What,
Jaron.
you know what's close to teeth? Taste buds. Hopefully, it doesn't grow any of those too.
Okay, we're getting into body horror stuff.
I don't like
just-
this.
I don't know if you
This
guys
is the
noticed.
stuff
I
of
just sat here
nightmares.
and I was just sitting there staring, thinking of all these things. I just-
Yep.
you know,
Classic
write this
Owen.
down. Yep, going in my journal tonight. Boy, what if
All
I
right.
had
Well,
teeth
that's
in my
gross. Jaron, thanks for bringing it up.
Anytime. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
All right. Let's see. Let's do a lightning round, and then we'll call it a day. My lightning round is another item that was announced this week. New Raspberry Pi version 5.
Sweet. I love new Raspberry Pis.
Yeah, these are pretty cool.
This
They're
is so cool.
They're going with a new processor, 2.4 gigahertz quad core, 64-bit. They are ARM Cortex A76 cores, and then they also are putting on a new GPU.
This is the cool part.
Video Core 7 GPU, which should introduce to what?
It'll drive two 4K displays,
Oh, yeah.
Tony.
I was gonna
That's
say, it
the
should-
cool part.
Introduce a lot more options for your display outputs. 2 4K 60 FPS, 60 hertz, and supports
That's
HDR.
cool.
So
I wonder at what point Raspberry Pis will be more powerful than most people's old Plex servers.
Right?
We're
Like,
probably getting really close.
Have we,
right
have we
now.
already
About it.
gotten there? Or
I'm already thinking about it because if you can hook up a NAS, like if you've got the
You can-
storage somewhere else,
It's got pins for NVMe's. You can hook up to them.
Oh, finally, so you don't have to
Yeah.
do the crappy
Yep.
micro SDs anymore.
Nope. If you want to hook up an NVMe, you can.
yeah, super cool.
The other interesting part about the new Raspberry Pi is they no longer recommend you passively cool it. So they're selling separate cooling devices for it because they recommend that you actively cool them
just
now.
a mini
Yeah.
PC, they're just coming up on mini PC.
$60. That's insane.
Yeah, all of that for $60 for the 4 gig variant, or $80 for the 8 gig.
Spend the
variant
extra 20
RAM.
for the 8 gig.
100%. I would
100%.
always
Crazy.
recommend getting more RAM.
If you go to the Raspberry Pi subreddit, you will just fall down a rabbit hole of crazy gadgets that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can make, smart mirrors and all, like weather stations and like,
See,
oh,
I would love to make a NAS out of one because my NAS right now is old HP like 820, I think, or something. Anyway, it uses a couple of Xeon processors. This was surplus. I got it surplus, and it's power hungry. Like it warms up my little room, and it doesn't do anything besides storage right now. So
Yeah.
it doesn't need
My
a
Plex server's the
tenth
same
of that
way.
power.
My Plex server's running the same thing actually.
So how much money
Yeah.
would you save in
That's the
energy
thing.
going to the Pi 5?
I bet you if I could make a Pi 5 work and have it use like Unraid or something and have redundant disks, that's the whole reason I like this. It's got a ton of bays, and I can put a lot of hard drives in there and have redundancy. But if I could get that action out of Raspberry Pi, I bet you I would save $20 to $30 a month in energy.
In power.
I would be
Holy
willing to
cow.
bet if we did a quick Google search, I bet there's like a Pi NAS
There probably is.
application you can do.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
For sure.
So I just need to figure out
Open
how
source, just go get it,
how to hook up the disks to it. So
I've been rocking my Pi 4 for 3 years now, and it's been rock solid.
That's
What do you
running
do with
your-
it?
That's running your password vault, right?
HomeKit.
I use it as a HomeKit server. I use it as an RSS server.
You do the Pi hole thing
Uh-uh.
for the DNS. You should do that too. It's easy.
I got the same one Jaren has, and I use it for Octoprint on my 3D printer.
oh, that's
So
cool.
it's really cool.
You can just send
Super
it to
handy
that.
stuff. So I can basically sit on any computer at my house and log into it and set up prints from anywhere instead of having to put it
Then
on
you
an
just send
SD
it to
card
the-
and move it on. I
Yeah,
just send it
nice.
over the network, make sure the printer's on and ready to go, and it goes. So, yep. Anyway, next lightning round, Jaren.
I would like to review the iPhone 15 Pro Max's action button.
If you can do it in 15 seconds or less, because my
Oh,
lightning
dude,
round went too long.
Yeah, come on, give me a chance here.
We got to pick up the slack.
I'm not going
that
to
I
review anything
that I
else
left.
because the phone's exactly the same as the previous year, unless you happen to be a gamer. USB-C port's nice, yeah, but action button, oh boy, the action button, is it awesome? You can program it to do whatever you want.
Whatever I want,
It's got a nice tactile clickiness to it.
like a button.
Like a button does.
Did you just set it to mute like everybody else is going to do? Because that's the only reason that the button was
No,
useful.
I actually programmed it in shortcuts, so it depends on how I hold my phone. If I hold it up like this and push it,
It
flashlight
uses
turns
the
on.
accelerometer. It's really cool.
Yep. If I hold it horizontal like this, it'll activate the camera. If I hold it horizontal the other way, it'll activate the video camera. If I put it upside down like this, it'll do the mute switch.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's pretty
rad.
cool.
Okay, multiple functions makes that pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to know how to do some shortcut programming or shortcut downloading.
I was
off
going
the
to say, or
internet.
some copy paste.
Yep. So yeah, there you go. Don't buy it if you have a 14 because there's really nothing new about it unless you really want the USB-C port.
and
And
action button.
speaking of the USB-C port, for my lightning round, I did it,
No,
Tony.
it's
I did
Owen's
it.
turn,
Nope,
though.
it's my turn because I had too good a segue.
All right.
The USB-C is awesome, right? We've like praised that thing a ton on the show, right? It's like, oh, finally, USB-C on the iPhone.
Correct.
Thanks, UK, right? However, not everything is so peachy. Turns out the USB-C is causing some issues for where data matters, such as CarPlay, right? So a lot of users are reporting is like, this USB-C cable I have doesn't work for CarPlay because cables matter, right? A USB-C cable is not a USB-C cable. It's not a USB-C cable. You know what I'm saying?
This is a user error story.
Yeah.
This,
But it,
I was
no,
gonna
it,
say-
it's
Everyone knows, especially
No,
people
no.
listening to this podcast,
people
that
listen to this podcast for
USB-C
sure. But
ports
your grandma does not know
cables
this.
matter.
No,
It makes
that's
the
true.
experience
Is
worse.
grandma using CarPlay though? Come on.
no,
Just
here's
called
here's
me.
the thing about this story, Lando, is this was a problem long before Apple moved
Yeah.
to USB-C.
Right, but
it's just that it's getting exposure
It's
now.
now
because-
affecting me.
Yeah,
that's what's
exactly.
happening.
More people have
Just
iPhones,
buy
so they're
a
going to notice
$5
it.
cable on Amazon and you'll
That
be
tracks.
golden.
That
All you have
How
to
do I
do
know
is
which one to buy? How do I know
all
which
you
one to
have
buy?
to all you have to do is make sure that whatever
It's like
cable
HDMI
you buy,
cables.
all you
They
have to do
suck.
that you look at the specs, and if it says 10 gigabit per second or
I
5
miss the old
gigabit per
days.
second, you're good.
Right.
Yep. You
just
have to
gotta
know
do is-
two
It's a
numbers,
bu-
5 or 10.
It's a buyer beware situation,
And
you
it
know,
sucks.
for-
It
for
sucks. It
all
makes the experience
accessories.
worse for a lot of people. Not people listening to this podcast because they're smarty pants. But people like me who are dummy pants, it sucks.
Okay,
You-
let's just use
it's a-
lightning
it's a-
for the next century then.
I'm not
You
saying
win.
we should-
It's just
Perfect.
a-
I win. We have it on tape. I want a clip of that, Tony, to use on Slack whenever I can.
Okay.
You win.
Perfect.
You could do
Thank you.
that.
Oh man, I have.
That's
I
it.
have
That's my lightning
two-
round.
All right.
I have two, and they. This
Two?
kind of-
No, you
No,
have
No.
one.
You only
Okay,
get one because
I
your
have-
singles
I have-
usually go as long as 3.
Yep.
No, so the first one is the UK. You know, we were just talking about USB-C.
I've heard of them.
Now,
Yes,
now the EU, not the UK, the EU.
I've also heard
now,
of them.
they want to make Apple. They're starting to lean on Apple to let them sideload apps into their market.
Yeah.
So first they got
Interesting.
Give me
first they
that.
got USB-C, and then they're like, well, they're not letting other apps into there. Because remember, Apple's defense is we know better.
Yeah.
We
Right.
know how to keep our users safe, and we want to make sure the experience in the marketplace.
I
is
love
the
this.
best. And
I'm with
I
Apple
will- and
1,000% on this.
I know.
Well,
I
you're
wish that I
wrong, but
wasn't.
that's
I
okay.
I wish that they didn't have good data, because it is absolutely true that there's more crap and malware. Look, if you are in the Apple marketplace, you are like 1,000 times less likely to download something that's going to steal your crypto keys and take your like.
Right,
crypto.
Tony? Right?
It can go both
I got
ways.
mine off Google. My problem came from the Google search engine, not from any app store.
Android, Google. It's like
Android.
tomato.
So,
You can have it be secure and enable a super secret option for people
Yeah.
that want to do whatever
Absolutely.
they want.
yeah.
It can
Yeah,
work.
but then you're gonna have those 13-year-olds on YouTube saying, "Hey guys, here's how you enable the super secret option. You go here," and everyone does it anyway. So like, what's the
Yeah.
point?
So, so
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
So-
we should take away the privilege for everyone because of few bad actors.
Yes,
That's what-
Jaron, the
that's the
needs of
loudest-
the many outweigh the needs of the few.
it's the worst.
Just like Spock has said.
Okay, all right.
that supports Jaron.
You
Let's
win,
take away
Tony.
choice from everyone then. I love that plan.
You
And-
still have
and-
choice. You can
No.
download any app you want from the App Store.
As long as
this
Apple says it's okay.
I'm 100% on Jaron's side on this one. I open it up. Open it up.
You just do it. Just let them in.
Yep, open it up.
Malware be damned.
They can do it
Yeah.
on Mac OS. Why can't they do it on
Yeah.
the iPhone?
Yeah, but
Why
Mac
is it
OS has other
different?
security
Hold on.
features.
Compare
Oh, an
Mac OS's
iPhone can't have those same security features,
Hold on.
even though it's
Yeah.
based on the
Just-
same operating system?
Just put
Hold
them
on.
on there.
Hold on. Mac OS's App Store experience is what?
Trash.
Okay, so there you go. That's all you have to say to compare it. Just look at the difference between iPhones. Like, it's like you guys have said it. The Mac
interesting
OS
thing,
App
I'll
Store
bet-
is trash.
I would venture a guess that if you asked Android users, 90+% of them would say they've never sideloaded an app.
Probably
I
more
bet-
than that.
I'll
Oh,
bet
no,
it's
yeah.
more
They
like
probably don't even know that feature is
95%.
there.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
a power. I'm
Or they
pretty
don't know what it
savvy
is
with
and
that,
they have
I
done
don't
it.
need to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So here's you open it up for Apple. It'll be the same percentage.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still be 95% of everyone still uses just apps from the App Store.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be the
Okay,
same.
last thing, and this is not
No,
even count as a
the
lot.
show is
I
over.
don't know.
This
No,
doesn't
Owen.
count.
Owen.
No, I'm pulling up
Owen.
the sheet
This
right
doesn't
now.
count as a story. I just want to know if any of you have heard of Studio Ghibli.
This doesn't account
Yes,
as
I have.
abuse. Is
My
that what you
neighbor-
say to your
my neighbor
victims?
Totoro.
Right? Yeah.
Jaron, he's talking about Studio Ghibli. You love Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, I think they're okay.
Okay.
great.
Well,
You love them.
anyway.
Says who?
Love, love, love.
So Japan's birth rate has been dropping.
Is it Studio Ghibli's
decades.
fault?
They are but
Oh.
Japan is using Studio Ghibli themed date night.
I thought it was Ghibli.
Yeah, I think it is.
Ghibli. Oh, okay.
I don't know,
I-
actually. I'm looking it up.
I
I've
don't know
never heard
either.
it.
I just thought it
learned
was.
I learned it by reading, so I have never heard it. So they were the Japanese government who is trying to boost birth rates, families, things. Trying to get. I learned a new term today called otaku. That is a nerd.
You didn't know otaku?
I don't know what it is.
I knew of that. Once I read the definition, I knew what that was. I just didn't know the name of it.
I learned about otaku from Metal Gear Solid back in the late 90s. They
I
talk
learned
about otakus.
Yeah, so otakus are people who've disconnected from society and are good with virtual everything. Anyway, and Japan's workforce is dying. Like they're aging out, and nobody's having families, and they're just having more and more otaku type things. So they did a Studio Ghibli themed date night, and they were blown away. It was like 200 or 300% what they thought the turnout
Studio
was going to be.
Ghibli.
There you go. Ghibli.
All right.
There you go.
And Owen, I just want one question answered. What does this have to do with the EU and the iPhone, and why did you have to bring this one up?
Oh, I just wanted to
How is
slip
it
in my last lightning round, so I did.
All right. Well, there you go.
Conniving.
Amazing.
Don't tell me what to do.
Wait. That says American pronunciation. There's also a British pronunciation.
Oh,
Drop
that's
it
the
in here.
correct
We
one,
gotta hear that.
obviously.
Studio Ghibli.
No, still a hard G noise. Okay.
Yeah. There you
Well,
go.
there you go.
I'm a hard G noise.
Hard G. Okay, well, that's it for today's episode. We just also, before we close, want to have a big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/GadgetSpot. And if you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaron has for us right now.
Big thanks and shout out to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and WiffleBall Tony. Thank you, James's
Extra
Gameses.
thanks.
Andy Bird, Be the 8-Year-Old, Travis Johnson. Check out the new Baldur's Gate 3 custom tech stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. Jeremy, No Name, No Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Nathan Moskus, Matt Nelson. Y'all should check out Hendrix Craftsman on Instant TikTok. Me, Speechless Like a Japanese Video Game, ... Josh D, Dick Messerly, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, that was weird. Joe, There Are No Rights Without Responsibilities, Ryan M, and Adam Hecht. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. That's it. We'll see you next week. Until then, Lando, take us out.
You know, the best way to keep track of your documents is to add _new to the name every time you save it. Then it's easy to tell the latest version because it's the longest one in the list. Be an end user.